Human beings, hello. I'm Navon, and today I'm going to be taking you all through a little bit of anime history, so let's dive right on in, shall we? So the story starts off with this one group of lizard men being told that their day has come to an end, and that they have 7 days to prepare for an attack from a supreme being. In an attempt to combat the attack, they hold a meeting and realize that they're going to need the help of all the other lizard tribes that have been separated due to war. So the chief sends his brother, who acts as a liaison for his specific tribe. So now we arrive at the first village, and we have the red-eyed lizard tribe, who are known to be magic casters. Instantly, the liaison falls in love, wanting him some of that semi-sweet, mildly tangy reptilicity from the get-go. Anyways, he convinces her to join, and they agree to set out and to find others to join the coalition. So now we arrive at the tough lizard tribe. In a typical tough lizard fashion, these guys are only convinced by a fight. So a duel breaks out between the liaison and the lizard leader here. And the guy of this tribe ends up losing, and now we have our lizard leader number 3. Off screen, we get lizard leaders 4 and 5, who will play an important role coming up. And now the war begins. So this massive army of undead shows up, and through the power of this coalition, despite their differences, all the lizard people band together and they win this fight. And they end up holding a big banquet and having good laughs and good fun, until another army of undead shows up. And as you can see, this is no regular army. No, they have all kinds of alloys, the platinums, the golds, you name it. And it's all enchanted. So now we find out who's behind this attack. A man by the name Ainz Ul Gaon. And when he arrives, he just instantly casts this like 8th tier Balonian 8 trigrams ice magic across the entire lake. Now our lizard people have hypothermia on their toes and are just in awe at the amount of power that Ainz has. And he's not done yet, because now he has this 100-foot golem named Gargantua throw this huge stone into the lake. And I know what you're thinking, right? He missed. No, the skeletons proceed to march to it, where they get on their knees and lay down to act as the staircase for Ainz and his crew to walk up. So all the skeletons with their enchanted armor are just here to be stairs. So now Ainz and his crew mosey on up, and he summons a throne for himself, and he says, "Hey, great job defeating that army, but that was just to help one of my commanders learn tactics. So I'm going to send him by himself to fight you all, and if you beat him, we'll leave you all alone." And then immediately the chief cuts in. He says, "Hey, can we just surrender?" And Ainz says, "Nope, you can't surrender, you have to fight. Toodles!" So now the time has come for all the lizard chiefs, who are the strongest in their tribes, by the way, to square off just against one of Ainz's commanders. And his name is Kakiotis. Now let's take a little break real quick, because I'm going to explain why Kakiotis is one of my favorite characters in the series. Because he's an honorable warrior type character who will just deal with you accordingly, pretty much. He won't fall for like the tricks and schemes, but he also respects a good warrior. So we're gonna go right back into it, but I fucking love Kakiotis. So first thing he does when he arrives is erect 2 ice pillars, and he says if anybody crosses this line, it's a wadida, it's over for you. So all the grunts charge in, and boy was that a mistake, because off of Kakiotis' aura alone, all but the chiefs just freeze to death and crumble. And remember those 2 lizard chiefs that I mentioned a while back and how they were important? I lied, because they just end up getting clapped instantaneously. And then the green one here, he ends up getting his arm chopped off, and then he gets clapped, and then the 2 brothers go in, and then just everybody gets clapped, and it's just a massacre. And while this entire fight is going on, Kakiotis is just apologizing to them for being too weak. He's like, yeah, that projectile won't hurt me because the supreme beings made this great armor for me, or that didn't hurt my hand because, you know, you don't possess a strength stat stronger than mine. And it's just apologizing for them. So it was just very disrespectful. Another thing to remember as well is that this took 5 episodes to get to this point, 4 of which were just build up of just the backstories of each lizard, you know, why they were getting into this fight, what are we going to do after this war, what if we lose. So like all this character development was happening, and then they just die, and like we don't really hear from the lizard tribe again. Like they go back, I think, in like the new season that just came out, just to find out the location of these what are they, gnomes? Not gnomes, but the short guys that craft good stuff. I'm forgetting their names, but we don't really use the lizard tribe ever in the future. And honestly, that's just one of the beauties of this series about Overlord, is how they built up this entire society just to wipe them out, and then they just never get used again.